Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the morning. 15 minutes to change your life. Continue on in the Maimer. Kein. After Ice Gimel. So basically, what we've been saying, and what we're doing essentially, the Rebbe, he's building this up. He's building up this whole discussion to really answer the Ikka question, which is, why is the name of Purim? Why is that the name? And that was the original question. Remember, we asked in the beginning, why is it called Purim? Hashem Purim, the girl, because this lottery that Haman did to the Jewish people, that's not a good thing, it's a negative thing. That was the central question. We said in the beginning in Aleph, we said maybe you could say it's because of the fact that he made a mistake, not realizing he thought it was a good month, Adar, because Moshe had passed away, but he didn't realize Moshe was also born. To say the Jewish people was born this month, it's a good month. But that's not the lottery itself, that's the outcome of the lottery. So what's so special about the lottery? So said, no, to understand, have to understand some similarities between Purim and Yom Kippur. The Yom Kippur is Purim, like Purim, which shows that Purim is even greater. And we said, what's the connection between the two, Purim and Yom Kippur? It's that they both have a concept of girl, a lottery. And Purim is the lottery talking about. Yom Kippur, it's the lottery of the two goats. One of them was going to be shechted, and one of them was thrown off the cliff as kapara. And we have the fact that they both hide in Seder Shtashlis. We have on Purim, we don't see Hashem's name Havaya, which is the level of God as He is in Seder Shtashlis. And then you have on Yom Kippur, you have the Lo'em Seder Shtashlis that it says Lifnei Havaya Titaru, that before Havaya, meaning above Havaya, will become pure. So both of these, and we're saying really that someone started to explain it. The lottery itself is this, because what's a lottery? A lottery is when you have two equal things, and there's no logic behind a choice. There's no reason to choose them, one or the other, but it's not a true choice. Definition of true choice is there's no need to choose one or the other. If you have a choice between eating chocolate or eating, an apple, so you're not really having a choice over them. Either you'll choose the chocolate because you want something sweet, or you choose the apple because you want to eat healthy. But either way, there's no real choice. Real choice is when there's two equal things, two apples or two chocolates, and you choose. And why do you choose one or the other? There's no reason. So then it's above the level of logic, because logic doesn't exist in that level. And that's sort of what we were saying. So what we're saying is that we reach on Purim and Kippur this level of above logic. But now we're going to add to it an even deeper level. Now we're going to say in Eis Gimel is that we even reach a level above Ratzon. So let's discuss this for a second before we go inside. Ratzon, which is like your will. Now your will is a very deep level. Let's say I will a house. I hear this all the time. People get a house, especially in Crown Heights. It's not that they're logically. Doesn't make any sense. Logically, they don't have the money for it. They don't have, the means. But the will they have. And when you have the will, it pushes you and you manage to go get it. That's a will. A will is above logic. Because it can be that according to logic, it's not going to happen. Logically, it doesn't exist. Logically, I can't do something. But I have a will, like a will to live. It's so deep that it's one of the core of who we are. So too, with this will in regards, let's say, to a house or anything. So that's a much deeper level within us. Now, so we're referring to levels of godliness. So in levels of godliness, what we're going to say in Gimel is that not just we reached that through Purim Kippur, we reach a level that's above logic, which is above Chachma, but we even reach a level above Ratzon, which is Ratzon is much deeper. Like you think about it. The Ratzon within us, that we all have this Ratzon within us, a much deeper level within us, like we explained, like the will to live. The will to live makes you survive. People in the book of Elie Wiesel called Night talks about his experiences in the Holocaust. One of the things he says about that, he goes, the Germans were very methodical, very calculated. He goes, but they didn't manage to calculate in regards to people's survival. They gave them enough food on the thought that the person would only be able to survive for 3 months. He goes, but we managed to survive much longer than that. Why? Because the will to live is so the level of will within us is so deep that it can push us above, that even logically, there's certain limitations, the will can go transcend that. And what we're going to say, and what we're saying today, is that we even reach a level above will. Let's see. Gimel. In this book, page 321, Beis Gimel. It's known b'mailas hagerol in the advantage, in the quality of the lottery, shahula maila, that it's really higher. Not just higher than the intellect, elegami aratzin. It's even higher than the ratzin, than our desire, our will. That's above sech, above intellect. Sharei, because when you do a gerol, this is how the Rebbe explains it. When you do a lottery, you decide the whatever the lottery falls out, that's going to be my will. If let's say you take a lottery and it says I'm going to have to do X, Y, and Z, so I'm going to do it, and I'm going to decide to do it. So this shows us it shows us that the gerol, the lottery, is reaching a level even above your ratzin. What we're saying is our ratzin is going to be directed towards what the outcome of the lottery. Because let's say you have a lottery with 2 things, and so whatever that's going to come out, I'm going to do. I'm going to follow. And I'm going to decide to go that way. So therefore, I'm putting my ratzin to be that thing. Therefore, therefore your desire, your ratzin becomes, your will becomes according to this one, the outcome. So to above, so spiritually. The Indian Agarel who Babal Haratzin Shalman Haratzin, that the idea of the lottery reaches a level above even the Ratzin, the Bal Haratzin, meaning, so to speak, the mass of the will. It reaches to the core of the person themselves, which normally the Ratzin of a person, the will of a person, is a very deep level. One of the deepest levels. But we're saying we're reaching even a deeper level than that. So therefore, we can say, so therefore, we say that the similarity between Yom Kippur and Purim, or the common denominator, they both have this concept of a lottery, and that they're both above Avayeh. What's the common denominator? The beginning of Avayeh, he hakutz shal yud. So there's a little pintala, little piece of ink, so to speak, on top of the yud. But if you write a yud, if you notice in the beginning, there's like a little piece. Let's see if I have it somewhere in the big. I can't find it here in big. Yeah, let's see if we can see this. If you look, for example, on this yud, right on the top of it, there's a little piece called a pintala. So we're saying, so when we say it's al mamish Havayah, so before we said it's a higher than Shem Havayah. Havayah means the yud, the hey, and the vav, and the hey. So the yud, and the yud represented chachma. But now we're saying it's above, not just chachma, but above ratzin. Where's ratzin in the yud, the hey? It's in the pintala on top of the yud. So therefore, we're saying that verses that the bird Yom Kippur and bird Purim reach this level above it. We're showing on the ratzin, hinted to the ratzin, this desire that's above chachma. And this the Yom Kippur and Purim are above this level of Avayeh. Even more, not just above chachma, but even above the ratzin. What are we achieving on Yom Kippur and Purim? We're reaching, we're pulling from not the Ratzain of Hashem, but the Bal Ratzain. Yeah, here, another Yud. That looks very clear. Yeah. That Yud, and we're talking about this little piece over here. Or in this picture, it would be this little piece sticking out. And that's the Yud. And what we're saying is, it's the same fundamental point, that what's achieved on Yom Kippur and on Purim is a level not just above the intellect of Hashem, but even above the Ratzon of Hashem. That's a very deep level. Just like if a person, God forbid, wants to commit suicide, generally, it's in order to be able to do it, you have to overcome your Ratzon, because you have an automatic will to live. You always want to live. People, no one ever commits suicide by drowning themselves in the bath. It doesn't work because your will to live is so strong, you won't let yourself. And that's what we're saying. So within God, we're reaching a level, not just the level of God that's the intellect, it's above intellect, it's even above the Ratzon. And this is the lottery. So what we've sort of done here is we've sort of redefined or really analyzed what does it mean a gerel? What does it mean a lottery? The true meaning of a lottery is above Shem Havayeh. And what we show that Shem Havayeh is not just starting with the intellect of God, we're reaching a level above even the Ratzain of God, the God himself. That what's achieved in Yom Kippur and Purim, we reach God himself. And this is going to go back to the original question. That's what we're going to say in Dal. We're going to ask exactly the same question. Why is Purim called a gerel? Now what we've done is we've brought in a lot of information. And also we're going to say tomorrow, we're going to discuss is the reason is with this information, now we understand what Haman was trying to achieve. Because Haman understood that by nature, in Chachma, and even you could say in Ratzon of Hashem, the Jews are always going to be successful. He's not going to destroy the Jewish people. But what does Haman do? He makes a gerel. What's a gerel? Like we just explained now, a gerel is even above a Ratzon. It's coming to Hashem himself. Now, in the level of Hashem himself, to really matter? Does a Jew and Lahavdil, Haman make a difference? Does it make a difference to them? It's like me sitting in my apartment and like 5 blocks away, 2 ants on the floor having an argument. And they say, "Oh, what do you guys think?" And they just come to me. Oh, what do I care about some ants on the floor? And it's infinitely more than that when it comes to God and us. So what Haman was trying to do, he's saying, listen, if I go to the Seichel of God, sure, I don't have a chance. So I'm going to make a gerel. But the gerel is not just that it's above the Seichel of God, it's even above the Ratzon of God, which is a deep level. We're tapping to God himself. And in God himself, we don't even, we don't even exist. Doesn't even mechashev us. There's no real importance. And so over there, I have a chance. I have a chance of destroying the Jewish people. And it's a good logic. It makes sense. So the question we have to answer is how what happened that we didn't? Was it just chance? If that just was a 50-50, so we got lucky. Or is there something more to that? And for that, we have to continue learning. Mit Hashem tomorrow. Have a great day.